Hello listeners and welcome to a MakCorp special podcast where we'll be interviewing Brad Valiukas of AURUMIN Limited, ASX code AUN. Without further ado, welcome Brad and thanks for joining me.
Thanks Steve, thanks for coming in to talk to me today.
Look, it's been a while since we've caught up Brad, and I can see there's been lots of activity over the last sort of few months prior to the last time. So why don't we jump in and start with the impressive drilling results you've got from Mount Diamond.
Yeah, thanks Steve. Our July drilling campaign, results came back from that and we put them out last week. Some great results there. 4 metres at 48, including a metre at just over 155 is the standout there, but from Lightning, but pretty good all around. Lightning was really pleasing. We had some great results at LA3, pushed that to the north as well, still open in that direction, 5 metres at 20. We had a good 20 gram.
Even 212 was good. But...
Yeah, I was going to say we had a good 20 gram at Frodo as well, but yeah, 212 is especially pleasing. It looks like we're really onto a new deposit there. 8 metres at 2.5 and 4 metres at 2.7, sort of 15 metres below surface is super pleasing. So yeah, looking forward to getting
some of the hard work starting to get the rewards.
Yeah, I mean this was one of the targets that we identified out of the SAM targeting originally, and it's one of the ones we got some better results on. So to follow that up, hit the load where we wanted, get the grade, is really pleasing, and we can go back there now and do another 10 holes and really try and open it up and hopefully turn around in our next lot of announcements and say, hey, it really is a new deposit here.
And when do you think that might happen, the next drilling?
So we'll go out in October and drill again. So it will be end of November, early December that we'll come back out with drilling assays after that.
And the good news continues. I see you've got a resource now at Johnson's Range.
Yeah, we put that out. So obviously we've had the Johnson Range project since we listed, and we're usually pretty quiet on it. Been quite a bit of work in the background there. A lot of fixing up databases and correcting survey issues and things like that. So
more data related.
Yeah, we to be honest, we haven't put any holes in ourselves. There's a few targets there we'd like to put some in, and we'll probably put some confirmation holes in. At the moment we've said it's just an inferred resource until we put some holes in it ourselves, but look, there's a lot of data there already, and pretty happy that we can bring portions up.
Good start.
To indicate it. Yeah, so it's 800,000 tonnes at 2.5, just under 65,000 ounces within the top 100 metres from surface. There's a few different options to try and monetise that, so we'll work through those over the coming months.
And another project we haven't spoken about yet is Mount Palmer. What's happening there with Mount Palmer?
Steve, since last time we did some holes around the old mine there, really looking for some easy wins, some remnants. A little bit disappointing in terms of results, but look, overall we still sit in a really good position there. 300 plus square kilometres of tenements. Got a great ground package there that's between Mount Palmer, which is 158,000 ounces, came out at half an ounce. Down to Navoria and Yilgarn Star, 400,000 plus ounces and a million ounces respectively there. So 15 kilometres of under-tested greenstone, other prospective lithologies down there, Yilgarn Stars in the sediments, Navoria's in the BIF. So we're back there, we're going to do some more geophysics and some more soil sampling, geochemistry, to really target our next program there.
And that's 221 you're doing that in?
Yeah, 221 will be back out there towards the end of this year.
Okay, so it's more work on both Mount Diamond and Mount Palmer.
Yes.
Excellent. So with these current drilling results, what have you learned from it, Brad?
So I mentioned just getting close to the ultramafic there in LA3. So certainly out of the SAM survey work we've done, we know that all these structures track through the ultramafic, and it's traditionally been considered barren. Despite the fact there's some good soil anomalies on it, and there's a few sniffs in some sporadic air core that's been done there in the past. But I think the result at Lightning certainly indicates that it's not barren, and we've really opened that up now to the north of every deposit, both what we're doing at Lightning, but also historical deposits, LO1, LO2, LO3. and probably to a lesser extent down at Frodo, where we also, Frodo North, again still in the granite, we drilled a 20 grammer there last campaign, so it opens things up quite a bit. If I digress a little bit here, Mount Diamond's always been a bit of question because it's quartz veins in granite. It was mined in the 90s, discovered in the 80s. It's always been a bit of a question: why is it there? What's going on with the geology? And the two potential theories had been it's come from the granite, the fluid flow from the granite and come through, and maybe at a sort of later stage fluid flow coming through, and then it should have been through to the ultramafic there as well. All the fluids have come from the Mount Diamond shear, which is up to the northeast, sits on the other side of the greenstone, and then the ultramafic, and then some fluids come through. But probably what we've identified recently, both through the structural mapping, dating of rocks, etc., is it looks like we've actually got the boundary of two microplates that have come together to create part of the Southern Cross domain that sits within the Yilgarn, and right just to the north of the ultramafic is potentially the main feeder structure. So a little bit the drilling result that we got at Lightning in the ultramafic is starting to be confirmation of that. So it's a third option, and it's certainly the one we're working on at the moment, and looking forward to continue to test.
And how's gold price affecting the value?
Steve, gold price in Australian dollar terms remains fantastic, like $2,400 an ounce. For all my time in the industry, like this is, it's or not quite the highest it's been, but certainly as a stable high gold price, it's fantastic. And like I'm a gold bull. I think gold is ultimately real money,
and it's safe,
and it's very safe. So yeah, I think things like Johnson Range have a pretty good future in this environment.
Something we need to touch on that's very important moving forward now, particularly from both the company and an investing point of view, is ESG. How is AURUMIN dealing or handling ESG?
How's AURUMIN handling ESG? Look, I'll start with our core values: integrity, respect, and responsibility. Achievement's our fourth, but in terms of respect and responsibility, ESG is a key part of that. So in terms of looking after the environment, obviously we're at an exploration phase at the moment. We certainly make sure we can meet all our requirements in terms of exploration and rehabilitation. We've also rehabilitated hundreds of holes left over from previous explorers. We've done that in our first 6 months from listing. We've moved 115 cubic metres of rubbish, both from mining, but also, weekend warriors around Mount Palmer, dumping off bits and pieces. So, we've really cleaned up that site to a massive extent. We support our local community in Southern Cross in terms of supply as much as we can. So we've used we use local drilling contractor JDC, so we use local accommodation there. We've purchased as much as we can through Yilgarn agencies. We know contractors that we've used have put business through the Southern Cross hardware as well. We had the choice of getting all that stuff out of Perth, but we've tried to do it locally wherever we can. Look, it makes sense
to survive, and that's the way to help.
Yeah, and it's good for us as an explorer and future developer.
And building community relationships.
Southern Cross is strong. Speak to council on a regular basis. We think that for all our stakeholders, right, there should be mutual benefits, not just us going out there to get something. It's got to go both ways. For myself personally, I'm very committed that when we get to that development phase, that we're in a low carbon situation. I've done a lot of work building power stations and spent a lot of time working on solar.
Have you seen improvements in all that time, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve, absolutely. And I think there's some really good ways you can go about it, and I think there's
some long ways of going about it.
There's some hard ways to go about it, but certainly it should be economically quite advantageous to be responsible at this stage. Or these days, the way prices are, but I think you've got to make the choice about how you want to be as well. And
morally.
Yeah, and so I certainly see that for any of our fixed infrastructure, like so 80% renewable is my target on that, and I think can do that without compromising the economics of the project. Just need to work a bit harder to get it done.
Yeah. And not put as many people on to put your hats on, depending on the role you're doing.
Yes. Yeah.
Financing or funding. Now, looking, you've got a fairly healthy bank account at the moment. How far into the future do you see that lasting?
Yeah, Steve, we're
$3 million in the bank.
Yeah, so we're over 3 at the moment. Look, we're spending a little bit faster than we said we would in the prospectus, and that directly relates to metres in the ground. We've put more metres in the ground than we said we would. So take that as a general positive. So we've still got 2-3 campaigns out in front of us that we're funded for, so it should take us into next year.
Excellent. So, Brad, you've obviously been very busy over the last few months. Is there anything else new on the horizon?
Steve, we've been busy on the ground, but we're very busy corporately as well. We always set out to grow the company. We think that we can add value to a range of projects. Nothing that I can talk about at the moment.
Hopefully next time.
We're certainly busy. And yes, hopefully next time.
And last question for you, Brad. Why should investors consider AURUMIN as an investment?
Look, we've still got 2 high-grade gold projects, Mount Diamond and Mount Palmer. Obviously, Mount Diamond's coming along really well at the moment. Ongoing exploration and news flow will be back out in around about a month from now. We'll be back out on the ground drilling, and then obviously results to come out, and we'll keep cycling through that process. Good board and management, experienced explorers, developers, operators. I think a lot of value to give to a lot of projects.
And proven history.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And some great drilling results coming out. So let's hope to see those continue.
Yeah, and we're keen to grow fast. We're certainly not here just to explore. We're here to put those projects back into development, and we're very actively looking to leverage our skill sets into other projects at the same time.
Excellent, working hard. Excellent, Brad. I think that's it for now, unless you've got anything else to add for our listeners.
No, that's it. Thanks for listening if you've got this far in the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks for your time, Brad, and good to catch up with you.
Thanks, Steve.